Well, there's a few books that are really good about this. Warren Farrell's my favorite one. He talks a lot about this, about why men are so behind women developmentally. Warren Farrell says that men are where women were at in 1961, right now. So women are like way ahead of the curve here in terms of their emotional, spiritual, psychological development. And part of that, in my opinion, I mean, if we went back far enough, there's a lot of reasons, but so much of the cultural conditioning of men is about, you know, you got to be a certain way to be a man. So that certain way is, again, a narrow bandwidth of the human experience, and it's a gender box. It's a straitjacket. That if I'm a guy, I got to not cry, I got to not act weak, I got to be tough, I got to go first, I got to be the leader and initiate. I can't, you know, show any signs of vulnerability or weakness because I'm a pussy or I'm a fag or I'm weak or, you know, whatever the judgments are. And then all our movies support the sort of stoic male hero, which is like he's emotionally unavailable to the woman. He leaves her behind. You know, he's kicking ass and he can destroy everything. And it's awesome. You know, it wakes something up in us. And, like, that's not really who we are. It's not realistic. And so guys start to think they actually start to think that they're supposed to be that way. And then the leaders they have, their father, and all these other men specifically, they think that's what a man is, because there's no initiation, there's no rite of passage to actually learn how to be myself, which is, you can even take off being a man. It's just learning how to be authentically, fully me, whatever it looks like. Because we don't have really strong initiation practices that support that, we're then left again to someone else defining who we are for us. It's painful. So men are pretty locked up, and women are, because of the women had the feminist movement, and there's been 3 waves of that, and all this work on themselves. They're really, even though men are still sort of in charge in some ways, you know, politically speaking, and CEOs and all that, if you did the stats, women are incredibly empowered. They're actually doing what they want to do now, and more and more, especially in this culture. And boys and men are really left behind here because they're locked up, and then boys are getting treated the same way my dad got treated as a boy. So he got that kind of the boy code training of, this is how you're supposed to be and act, and you better not veer outside of this. And then he grows up as a man, and he's still in a box. Women don't have that same box. Their box is there, but it's different and bigger. And that said, there's a small portion of men that give a shit enough to, like, that are meeting women where they're at, and you know, it's more like, okay, here we are. We can actually meet now together.